Good evening, you're watching The Buck Stops Here. I'm Amitabh Dev.
Good evening, I'm Neha Khanna. Our big focus tonight, if there was one predominant and recurrent theme at the BJP's two-day National Executive Meet, it was this. Free speech and nationalism can coexist. Dissent is welcome, but destruction of the country cannot be tolerated. And there cannot be any debate on slogans like Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
But first, before we turn our focus to the other big story of the day, 2 days after the lynching of two people in Jharkhand's Latehar district, one a cattle trader, the other a 12-year-old boy, both of whom were hung from a tree. There are more questions than answers.
At least one of those arrested has links with a cow protection group. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Raghubar reacted to the incident by saying the state's laws do not permit taking cattle out of Jharkhand, hinting at a cattle smuggling angle, a claim so far not backed by any evidence on the ground.
आज मेरा बच्चा के मार के उसका यहाँ गर्दन ने डोरा लगा के फांसी के सरिये टांग दिया. अगर इतना बचवा खेद ले जा हलो बाइला तो राख लेतले हमार बचवा के दो पैना लगाए के छोड़ देतले कोई जगह न खैर के रहतले खोजतलिए.
No takers for the robbery motive at the home of 12-year-old Mohammad Imtiaz, beaten and hung from a tree on Friday morning in Jharkhand's Latehar district, along with 32-year-old Majloom Ansari. One a full-time cattle trader, the other a young boy filling in for his father. On Friday, the police said robbery was the motive. On Saturday, they admitted one of those arrested was a member of a village cow protection committee. But at the home of Mithilesh Sahu, one of the 5 men arrested, a different version emerges.
सच्चाई ये है कि बजरंग दल का सदस्य नया बना हुआ था, ठीक है, और नया बना हुआ था, उसमें एक मंदिर बनाना था, उसके गठन के लिए बनाया गया था, बाकी और कोई बात नहीं है.
उनमें से एक मिथिलेश कुमार साहू का कुछ आ रहा है कि वो लोकल एरिया पे गौ रक्षा समिति का अध्यक्ष था, सेल्फ डिक्लेयर्ड. अब ये तो वो खुद ही जानेंगे वो किस दल से मेंबर थे.
In Delhi, Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad wrote to the Prime Minister, saying such incidents have serious implications for the survival of democracy. The Jharkhand Chief Minister said action would be speedy, but hinted at a cattle smuggling theory, not substantiated on the ground by anyone.
झारखंड में हमारा एक्ट भी बना हुआ है कि पशु को कोई भी आप राज्य से बाहर नहीं ले जा सकता.
In the last 2 days, the Jharkhand police and the government here have held peace meetings like this one in an effort to ensure that there are no further repercussions of this incident. But the challenge before the administration is to ensure a speedy investigation, just to determine who led to this incident, who caused this incident, and ensure speedy justice. In Latehar, with camera person Arvind Sharma and Sanjeev Giri, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Alok, in fact, joining us now. Alok, any answers to those questions you were raising?
Not really, Amitabh. In fact, let me just give you a sense of where I am. You see this board here. This is where the incident has happened. This place that you see, Balumat, about 15-20 kilometers beyond Balumat is where the incident has happened. Now, this entire story is a web of contradictions, if you could say that. Now, we were speaking to a police sources earlier in the evening, and they said that this particular person who's been arrested, Mr. Mithilesh, he called other people from his village at about 3 in the morning, went out in an attempt to rob these two cattle traders, in fact one cattle trader, the other a very young boy, and then tried to rob the buffaloes of these people, and then in that entire process beat them up and hang them. But many people are asking why somebody who owns 2 cement shops in the village would do that. Many other people are asking why the other accused who have been caught, they are all, somebody is a para teacher, somebody else is employed, so why would robbery be a motive? So nobody in these parts really buying that robbery motive that has been put forward by the police. But like we said, even the Chief Minister making some statements that perhaps at the moment have no substantiation, saying that these people, or perhaps at least hinting that there was some kind of a cattle smuggling racket that was involved. But on the ground, nobody is able to confirm that to us, so we really don't know where the Chief Minister is coming from. The parents and the relatives of both the 12-year-old boy and the other person who lost his life want speedy justice. They want that whoever has been arrested, the case against them needs to be proved, and all of them say that there is a definite angle, different angle. It's a different angle apart from robbery,
Right.
which could be the motive.
Alok, thanks very much for bringing us all those details. We'll continue to track that story closely with you. In fact, to talk about this, we are now joined in the studio by senior journalist Aarti Jairath. Ma'am, as Alok pointed there, more questions than answers at the moment. We don't know the full facts of this case, but many have already drawn parallels with the Mohammed Akhlaq case. Do you think it is important for the government to act decisively against the perpetrators of this horrific crime in order to send out the right message?
No, absolutely. And in fact, I'm really surprised that the Chief Minister has kind of jumped the gun, so to speak, by talking about cattle trading or, you know, a cattle smuggling ring and so on and so forth, when the inquiry is still underway and no facts have been established. And, you know, this is a particularly horrendous case which needs to be condemned in the strongest possible terms, not just because of the communal angle and the possible, you know, sort of larger implications, but a 12-year-old boy has been lynched and hanged to death. I mean, you know, you can't get worse than that.
But is it a coincidence that incidents like this come up before the elections, even though it's not in the same state?
Well, I don't know, but you know, what I'm seeing, and this is the really disturbing thing, is that this kind of vigilantism by self-appointed, you know, groups that claim to be, you know, cow protectors and so on, this kind of vigilantism seems to be on the rise. And, you know, unless administrations act decisively and firmly and book people who are responsible for it, you know, we're going to see some real social turmoil happening. I mean, we're already seeing, you know, happening in sort of sporadic incidents, but it could get worse.
Right.
And as the UP polls approach, you know, that's the real danger.
Exactly.